If you saw last week's video, you could see some of the Stations of the Cross in our chapel in the background. The Stations, or the Way of the Cross, is a popular Lenten devotion, popularized by the friars centuries ago for those people who could not make it to the Holy Land to walk the actual route of Christ from his being tried to his death on Mount Calvary. It's often called the Via Dolorosa, or the Way of Sorrows. Many parishes offer the Way of the Cross during the season of Lent, or you can make the Stations privately, either in a church or perhaps using a little booklet. The Way of the Cross around our churches, or the pictures in a booklet, help us certainly to focus on the message of each particular station. The fifth station is Simon helps Jesus to carry the cross. We reflect on Simon of Cyrene, that person who many commentators like to think was just pulled from the crowd, maybe just happened to be there, passing by, maybe on his way to or from work. We really don't know much about him. But we can kind of imagine that he saw this as an unexpected burden. Perhaps he protested that he was being recruited for this purpose. Maybe he saw it as a humiliation for himself. But many of those reflections will then go on to help us to say, well, Simon was really being given a graced opportunity, a moment that brought him next to his Savior as well. And it's a moment that led to him being remembered all of these centuries later and around the world each time someone prays the Way of the Cross. One of the gifts of that particular station is that we realize that the Lord used human instruments to help him, even on the way to his death. And he set up the church to continue to use human instruments. If we are given a cross to carry, we know that the Lord helps us to carry it. If we can help another carry their cross, we know that that's a wonderful and privileged act of charity. It is indeed good that we can walk with Jesus. And even if sometimes we walk with some sorrow, it's not meaningless, but potentially highly salvific for us. And I say potentially, not questioning God's grace, but sometimes we humans in our weakness find it hard to grasp the grace that being offered to us by the Lord. If you do not regularly make the Way of the Cross, may I suggest that at least once during this season of Lent, you strive to do so. Here at St. Clement's, we have the devotion on the Lenten Friday evenings at 7 p.m. Most churches will offer it at some point on a Friday. So let us walk with the Lord and invite the Lord to walk with us. This is Father Donald at St. Clement Church in Rosedale, wishing you the Lord's peace.